my wild. Variety and then save my own seeds. Morning everyone. The calm before the storm is over and it is March and we are now getting serious. And if you're like me and you have a huge collection at home of seeds that you've been collecting for months or in some cases a lot longer than that, then it's a great time now to get through them, sort them out, get them organized. And today I'm going to be showing you all the ones that I'm going to attempt to grow over March, not the beginning, but I'm going to stagger them out over the month. There's a lot. So in this video, I'm just going to be doing that. And I do have something that I've ordered that I'm going to test out today for you, but that'll be later in the video. But for now, I've made a hot drink. I've just gone round and kind of admired all the spring flowers that are starting. There are, I would say, 300 plus bulbs that I've put in the ground over the past few months, and they are all showing their faces. And it's gonna start to look very different on this plot than it has been since I've had it. I've only had this plot, this is my second year, and what a difference. So I'm gonna enjoy my coffee, organize a few things, and we'll go on with today's video. So I didn't record this, but the other week I received some plants from a neighbouring plot. She's given it up and said we could have some of the stuff that she'd left behind. So I did take some things. Now they are mainly perennial flowers and a fruit tree, but since putting them in, they've just done really well. So I'll just show you what they are. Again, I don't know what they are until they start to flower. So first one was this fruit tree. Now it was a new one, it had a tag on it, but I cannot see. There's maybe just a couple of shoots on this. So until it starts to grow, I'm not sure what it is. Next thing is this perennial flower. Now these are the flower spikes. But again, there was loads of this and I've actually split this up into several parts of my plot. So this should grow and fill this little area nicely because this is my flower bed. I have my cranberry here, a buddleia, my grape, some fennel, and there's a few bits that I'm hoping will pick up. Doesn't look too good, but again, it's been in the ground for a couple of weeks now, and I think there are new growth, so that's good. So the next thing was this. This was just a few stumps when I put it in the ground, so you can see it's done really well. No idea what this is, and I've held off from Googling this because I actually want to wait and see what it does without me having to ruin the surprise sort of thing. So this is a nice one. And I've noticed at the bottom of the plant, it's got a little freebie. If you see those little round leaves, I believe that is Aquilegia or Columbine, which kind of grows back every year. Had a really nice flower on the top. So it'll be nice to see what color that is. This sort of section is like my perennial flower bed. Got some wallflowers at the back. This is, or will be, my wild. Thankfully that was not on camera. That was me falling into my bed. Right there. Did not realize there was it. I did not realize when walking back that I was going to fall into my pallet collar, but I did. So as I was saying, but now with a wet backside, this is going to be my wildflower bed. Now you can see it's pretty decent size. I already have a raspberry cane or two in the back that I was given. This has green manure in, so it has predominantly ryegrass. Now there's some small patches of clover and I cannot see any mustard anywhere, but this is going to be cut back, dug into the ground, and then my sprinkling of wildflower seeds will go here and hopefully give me a really nice edge to my plot, because this is my boundary edge. So I wanted a bit of separation from my plot to the path. Yep, so that's that. Again, I have another clump from over there, which I was able to put in here. So again, that will fill this little corner out. This area is also full of bulbs, strawberries, loganberries. I have this, which is growing back. You can't quite see it, but this grows really tall, has really nice white flowers on, and it has arrow-shaped leaves. I have this at home in the garden, and this is a very nice looking plant. Some weeds. And again, Bina with a little tiny ladybird, if you can see that. Again, just a mix of flowers in this bed, some herbs. But then over here, I have another collection of that wild kind of perennial flower that was growing in my neighbour's plot that is doing well, looks strong, and hopefully will give me some nice flowers here. Yeah, so like I said, March is a very busy time of year, not just for people with allotments, but anyone into growing plants at home, vegetables, flowers. March is the one, and it's still a great time to get your beds prepped, your soil prepped, clean out your polytunnel, all those jobs that just finalize getting everything ready. And today I'm going to be doing a couple of jobs around the plot to get me sorted. But for now, I do have quite a lot of seeds to share. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail today, but if anyone's interested in any of the seeds I'm going to show, leave a comment in the bottom and I'll happily give you some information that you might need. But yes, so I will start by telling you there's quite a lot. Now, these aren't going to be sown straight away. I'm going to stagger these over the month. So some in the polytunnel, some at home, and hopefully a lot in the ground to direct sowing, which is what I prefer really. I've also got the things like my peas. What else have I got? There's some wildflowers and stuff that are all going to go in the ground now. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by the birds that are devouring my mealworms at the moment. Again, a lot of seeds. So I will start, and the first ones I'm going to be doing are kind of your easy ones. I've got, let's say, 4 types of lettuce. Now, these are just ones I've collected over the year, and one of which is for my subscription that I have. Now, this one is Marvel of 4 Seasons. It's a red-green lettuce. Looks quite nice. I'm going to probably put that in the polytunnel. So the next one is just a red and green salad bowl mix. Just simple. It's just got a bunch of different lettuces in there, and one I thought would be a good one to try. I have some of this really cool one left seed tape, which has like the lettuce seeds inside, which is good for sowing on a windy day. And then again, another lettuce. All probably going to go in my polytunnel, and I will save some to direct sow throughout the year for some more kind of staggered sowing. Another one is spinach. Now, I think everyone who has an allotment grows spinach. This is a new one for me this year called Apollo F1. I did have seed saved from my mum last year from her allotment, which grew really well and grew really big. So I thought I would try my own and hopefully collect my own seeds for next year. So spinach. Then there's wild garlic. This is going to be going in my kind of orchard area where my fruit trees are, and that will just do its own thing hopefully and spread over the next few years. Another one is Amaranthus. Now I have a mixed one with the white and the red, and I also have a red. These are going to be direct sown, I think, the end of March. And again, these are the good ones to eat. I've heard, I've never actually tried these before, but I have seen them on a neighbour's plot, and she eats quite a lot. So I'm going to give it a go in one of my smaller beds, I think, this year, because this is one you can cut and come again. The more you cut it, the more it grows, and then at the end you can just leave it to flower, and it also looks nice, which the flower heads and seeds are also edible, so that's good. I've already sown a few of these already, but again, I'm going to stagger these. These are kale. Now I have 3 types. I have the curled, the dwarf, and the red one. Again, just basic allotment plants that I'm going to fit in amongst other stuff. Some basic kale, a good one for your allotment plot, and one that I'm going to definitely give a better go at this year. I only had a couple of plants that did well, and I did enjoy eating them, but I want to try some of the different types anyway. So that's them. I do have some more root vegetables that I'm going to grow. Hopefully just direct sow all of these if I can. So 2 more types of carrots. I have Nantaise 2, which I have already sown in one of my beds. I have Nantaise 5 again. I think it's a similar type. I'm not sure what the difference is, but I'll give it a go. You can't have enough carrots. Then I have 2 types of parsnip. I have Halflong white and I have hollow crown. Now again, these are going to go into drills in one of my beds, probably in one of the beds at the back. And they'll be left to do their own thing. Parsnips, I didn't have any success last year with parsnips. The ones that I did grow just got 8 and didn't really do anything. So better luck this year. So I do have a purple top Milan parsnip that I want to try this year, which might be a nice one. One that I've never really thought of growing before, Celeriac. Now I've seen a few YouTubers growing this and are starting this again this year, and I want to give it a go. I've never actually ate a celeriac, I don't think, so I'm intrigued to grow this and try it. So this is Neon F1, and I believe the F1 means you cannot save the seeds or they won't be viable when you harvest them. But again, this is my first year growing them, so if they grow well, maybe next year I will grow a better variety and then save my own seeds. And then another one, which I already have in the ground that I overwintered, is the Savoy cabbage. Now this is a fresh packet. The ones I overwintered were from an old batch and I didn't get a lot of germination, maybe about 8. So hopefully this one will give me a lot more. And again, I'll stagger sow these a couple of weeks apart. So hopefully when they all start to produce their nice round heads, they won't all come at once. It'll be cabbage. And that's kind of it for my vegetable / salad crops. And you can see it's quite a hefty amount. So that will keep me very busy over the beginning and during March. Next one is the more wildflower mix. I do have a pot at home, which over the past few weeks and months, I've been collecting different types of wildflowers. And I've been mixing them into a big pot. And then I will, at some point, ask my allotment committee if I can dig another trench at the back of my plot. I did try this last year and they put weed killer down, which wasn't ideal. And the only ones that survived were the poppies and a few borage. So hopefully this year I've put a bit more effort into collecting some different seeds, and hopefully I want to do quite a nice long hedgerow of wildflowers, not just for me, but for anyone who walks down the communal path, because it is not on my plot, it's at the back of the path. But I thought it'd be nice, a great way to attract all those pollinators and beneficial insects that I need for my plot and give me something to look at. When I'm sitting here doing my gardening and things, it would be nice to see a nice wildflowers, which then I can collect my own seeds from and repeat every year, which would be nice. So the first one is I'm going to direct sow this. I have already grew the purple variety and it's growing at home, but this is Gomphrena and this is the mixed one, so a few more colours, and I believe this is like a clove. If you've ever seen a clove that's flowered, it's got that little ball of fluffy flowers. That's what it is, but it's a look. But it looks nice, and I'm going to give it a go. Another one is Nigella. Now I have saved seeds of this from my sister's allotment plot from last year. Whether or not they will grow, I don't know. But I've got another 2 types. So I've got black caraway and moody blues. Now, if anyone's ever seen Nigella, it's a gorgeous little flower. Grows really nice, and then its seed pod looks like a little hot air balloon. I will insert an image now, but this is a fascinating one to grow, and you just plant this and it self-seeds itself, so hopefully it will stay around. Another one, sweet pea. This is a grandiflora one, so I think this is one that produces more flowers or maybe just larger flowers, but I'm just going to direct sow this whole packet under one of my little makeshift teepees that I have, and that will just be left to do its own thing. Last year I had some good success with my teepees. They looked nice. I constantly picked the flowers and it was a joy to have. So again, sweet peas are always a must in my garden at home and on my allotment. All right, next ones are Morning Glory, red and blue. Again, I'm just going to plant these into a couple of plant pots. When the plant pot's kind of to a nice decent size, I will just plant the entire pot under a trellis, under one of my trees, one of the posts, and this will scramble up and hopefully look very nice. These are also great ones for self-seeding and also to save seeds. They're kind of little tiny, kind of looks like a sweet pea seed, and then you kind of pop it and the seeds come out. But yeah, I'm going to try. But like I said, I'm going to go through this quickly. Quite a lot of seeds. So if there's anything that you're fascinated in or want to try, I can reply on a comment if you want, or I'm just going to put a list of each one that I'm growing in March in the description box. So if you wanted to have a look, I will put the type and the name of everything I'm growing in a little list, and you can just have a look for yourself and Google anything you desire. But yeah, flowers now. Not that I have loads already at home. So this one is called Sweet Sultan. The Bride is a white flower. I don't have many white flowers on my allotment I've seen. So this is going to be probably one of the only white flowers that I have. But yeah, it looks quite nice, so I'm giving that one a go. I have another echinacea. I do have an echinacea at home growing already, but this one was one to plant later on. And it's kind of very nice, unusual double flower one. So I thought it would be nice. Again, I've gone mad on the zinnias because there's a plot at the back of my site that kind of grows zinnias. And if you've ever seen zinnias growing, they are just fascinating. They are come in every color imaginable, every shape, every size, and I'm going to give a go at all of these this year. So I have Cresto Peachy Pink, I have Sombrero, I have, I can't say this, Hargina Old Mexico, which kind of looks more like a marigold to me. I have Dahlia Flowered Scarlet Flame, Cupid Mix, which is kind of like a fun mix of colors, another mix, which is Sunbow, and a Purple Prince, which is kind of like a bigger flower, a very dark purple. It looks very nice. So I'm going to give all those a go. Again, probably start sowing these over the next week or two. Maybe try some in the polytunnel, because you can sow these outdoors in April. So I think an earlier sowing in March in the polytunnel should be okay. And then the last ones are kind of like ones that I've never grown before, and one that is one of my favorites. It's also one of my mum's favorites, and it's called Black-Eyed Susan. You can buy this from a lot of garden centres, but I have never really successfully grown my own. They are very long to germinate, it seems, and every time I've tried these, they grow for a while and then they just die. So I'm going to try again. You will not give up until I grow my own. You can save the seeds on these, and it is a very robust climbing plant. Now, you don't need many of these. Put them up a trellis, up a tree. They will climb up everything, but they have a mass of flowers. Now, I will insert an image now. But again, you can get red ones, white ones, yellow ones. They're just really nice. They grow, I think, about 6 meters or so. They can within the first year. They grow very fast. So wherever you put this, make sure they have the height, or at least somewhere where they can just go mad. But yeah, nice one. And I recommend that, Black-Eyed Susan. So another one is Cadcanache. I think I'm saying this correctly, but it's a blue flower, grows about 60 centimeters tall. Just very nice. I thought I would give it a go. Then these, with mainly the seed packets that kind of tempted me to grow these. Now, one is called Bells of Ireland, and I believe this grows pretty tall, about 75 to a meter. So yeah, nice, but it has green kind of flowers, almost like a hellebore. So if you've ever seen a hellebore, some of the green flowering ones, it kind of looks like a leaf, but it's a flower. This is kind of what that looks like, but on a tall flower stem, almost like a foxglove. So yeah, loads of seeds in that. And Isoldes outdoors, so one to try, I think. Next one is Cleome Violet Queen. Again, this is another very tall one. I believe I had this last year. I could be wrong. It looks very familiar. And the one that I had did grow pretty tall. So I thought I would give it a go myself from seed, as last year's one was from a garden centre. But yeah, like a spider flower, looks very nice, and one I'm going to give a go. So yeah, that's my collection of seeds. Like I said, there's a lot in there, so I will leave all the information in the description at the bottom. Any questions, any queries on more information on any of these, or how I'm going to be growing them, just send me a message in the comments. I will get back to everyone, as I always do. And yeah, I wish you all the best luck with growing whatever it is you're growing. And if I've not mentioned anything that you're trying this year, please leave it in the comments. As you can see, I like to try everything and anything, and I am always appreciative of kind of suggestions that you can give me. So for now, they will go in this little tiny wallet, ready for me to plant up over the next couple of weeks. So, like I said earlier in the video, I went and brought myself this. Now, I will show you what it is. So, this is a kind of battery powered jet wash. Comes with 2 batteries, and my plan is to clean the plastic on my polytunnel. Hopefully it's not strong enough to put holes in it, but again, I'll set it up and give it a go. It does come with a nifty little bucket, but I don't think this is very big, so I may just use my larger watering can to save all the trips. But yeah, I got this myself from Amazon. I will leave a link in the bottom if anyone's interested, but again, battery powered, anything on the plot is perfect. So I'll get this set up and give it a blast. So this is the back of my polytunnel, and you can see the algae is formed everywhere, but I believe you just put this in the bottom, let it sink, and then I will test it kind of on the bottom. I don't want to be damaging anything, so. Oh, bit slow to get going. I think this one maybe. So far, so good. It's actually doing a really good job. I think what I had it on was the best. 60 degrees, this one. Yeah, and I haven't actually charged these batteries either. This is just a test, so it may get stronger. We shall see. So that is me done for the day. It's been a very nice, relaxing day here today. Got a few jobs done and hopefully showing you a few seeds that you can give it a go this year. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos. If you are enjoying them, leave me a comment and don't forget to hype these videos if you can. So enjoy your week and I will see you in the next one.